Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Concern podcast, where we unpack political, social, economic, and cultural stories shaping our world. I am Emmanuel Taban. Now, a very interesting development. Yesterday, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, Salva Kiir Mayardit, issued a statement that pardoned 96 convicts across the country. Very interesting development. Now that means these 96 individuals who were convicted, jailed, or put in prison now are set to be free and to actually go to their homes in simple terms. That's the meaning of the statement. So the 96 convicts, the statement was issued yesterday by the President of the Republic of South Sudan, Salva Kiir Mayardit, and that is meant in the light of the New Year celebration, or ahead of that, the country is heading towards the New Year. And in this video, I'm gonna talk about the implication of this. What could this mean to South Sudan, and what could it mean for Salva Kiir Mayardit, especially in shaping the public perception about himself and his government and things to do with opposition and all kind of stuff. But before we proceed, if this is your first time watching a video on this channel, please subscribe, hit on the notification button, like, comment, and if the videos interest you, why not share with your colleagues and your closest circle? It's a way of making this channel grow, and when it grows, it motivates us to make more videos back to back. Now, just to give you a little understanding, the powers by the president to give pardon to convicts is drawn from the South Sudan Transitional Constitution as amended in 2011. Now, according to the transitional Constitution of South Sudan, that was amended in 2011. Under Article 101, and that is powers and functions of the president, one of the functions of the president and sabbatical H is to, one, confirm death sentences, remit conviction or penalties, and also issue pardons in line with the Constitution. That is, I'm paraphrasing that part of Article 101, that is subsection H of the Transitional Constitution of South Sudan. So when you see the president issuing pardons to convicts or to people who are actually confirmed guilty and jailed, put in prison, when you see the president coming out and giving a statement or, ordering these people to be released, he is acting within his powers in the first place. Because it is the function, within the function of the president to issue pardons to convicts. So that power of the president was, drawn from that part of Article 101 of the Transitional Constitution. But this is not our major purpose of making this video. Yes, we understand the president is acting within his power as stipulated in the Constitution, issuing pardons. But what I want to look at in this video is, I want us to look at the implication of this. What could this move made by the president imply? And what could even the president, what could be, the main target of issuing this? Now, to start with, I know it is New Year, right? And people always have this notion that when it is a new year, people should get to it with good heart, people should reconcile with others, and just, giving a signal of hope. And I feel that this action of the president of giving pardon ahead of a new year, it's a well-calculated move that is meant to send a message of hope, meant to send a message of reconciliation, and it's centered just around this theme of reconciliation and hope and all this kind of stuff. So that is one reason why I feel the president made that pardon or issued those pardons to the convicts. It's mainly to create the image of him, the country or the leadership of the country reconciling and all this kind of stuff, right? But secondly, I was also thinking that, politicians are very good strategists, and they always say that there is no any single move in politics that happen unplanned. You know, every single day when you see a politician making a move, that is a well-calculated move. And one of the things that came in my mind when I read the news about the president issuing a pardon to the 96 convicts, I started thinking about, I mean, the aim of reshaping yourself and making yourself like what do I call? I mean, like someone who is, I mean, clean and just trying to clean up your mess ahead of the slated election. You know, we all know that the country is planned to go into an election next year in December. So this move could be one that the president is trying to reshape himself and just trying to make himself look good and just make people give him sympathy and support and start looking at him with the different lenses, and that he seems to have good leadership. I mean, like good intention for the people. You know, in politics, these things happen. So the move by the president of issuing the pardons, I also have the feeling that this could be drawn from that major aim of reshaping himself. I mean, cleaning all his mess that people might think he has done, and just making himself completely a different person and a good looking with a good heart. You know, this could be a strategy as well. And we are not going to rule that out. But my major aim here is, you know, when people read about this story of the president issuing the pardon, one thing that came into their mind is, why is the pardon not, given to people who are the president's critical opponents? You know, and people argue that this pardon would actually make very good sense if the people that the president are pardoning are actually his closest enemies, or people I mean, like, I wouldn't call it enemies, but his opponents, his political opponents. And when some people read that, they immediately rushed to ask questions if likes of Machar and Po Kang and all the other guys who are right now going under trial are part of that list that are given pardon. But I feel that Machar, Po Kang and his colleagues are not entitled to that pardon because they are not convicts yet. You know, a convict is someone, I am not an expert in law, I haven't gone to law school, but I mean, that is a basic English meaning. From the basic English, I know a convict is someone who has been confirmed guilty and is taken to jail. He has committed, I mean, a guy who is being charged with a crime, and then he went through the prosecution and he is found culpable. He is found guilty of committing that crime that he was charged with, and therefore taken to jail. And that pardon is given to people of such manner. But Machar, Po Kang and his colleagues, they are not convicts yet because the prosecution is still ongoing, and therefore they are not yet found guilty. The court has not declared them guilty, and therefore they are not entitled to be in that list. Right? They are not entitled to be in that. And so before you start looking for the names of all these 96 convicts and struggling to see if Machar's name or Po Kang's name surface there, do not waste your time, because these fellows are not convicts yet. They are charged with the crime and they are going through prosecution or trial, and until they are found guilty, they are not qualified to be called convicts. That is according to me. But yes, the major purpose of me making this video is just to draw up these lines and just give a little bit of a clue on what these pardons could actually imply or could shape people's perception about Kiir's leadership. But yes, according to me, these are well calculated move. One, met at the when the country is heading towards a new year, and just like a sign of hope and reconciliation for the entire country, but also promoting peace and all this kind of stuff. And then the other move would be also around the president wanting to reshape himself and reorganize and clean up his mess that maybe people think he has done. And that is the major purpose of this. So thank you so much. Until next time, I'm Emmanuel Taban, and this is the Concerned Podcast. But before we end this episode, I would like to leave you with this one. Before we close today's episode, here's a quick message from our sponsor, Wani.co. If you've been planning to build a website, but the cost has been holding you back, OneIt.co makes it affordable and stress-free this time around. Whether you are an individual, a non-profit organization, or a business, OneIt.co designs professional websites starting from as cheap as $250. Individuals can actually launch with a starter website of up to 7 pages and a free email, or choose an advanced option with unlimited pages, a professional portfolio, and branding support. For non-profit organizations, they can select flexible packages from basic websites to premium solutions with e-commerce features and ongoing support. And for business companies, OneIt.co delivers company-ready website with hosting, staff training, and multi-link options and online stores. And the best part of it is actually that you can build your dream website within your budget. OneIt.co is an affordable, accessible, and professional partner. And to get started, you can actually visit OneIt.co or email them at info@OneIt.co, or you can get in touch with them through their WhatsApp number at +1 226 504 3322. OneIt.co, proudly affiliated with Jobs to Apply. And if you're wondering of what I'm talking about, here are some samples of website created by OneIt.co. You can see them right here.